Welcome everybody to another 22 Social Live Hangout. My name is Andrew Lane, and I am one of the co-founders here at 22 Social. You are joining me here on a Tuesday afternoon. It's 3:30 Pacific time on August 1st. We're already live here in August. And let's see, it looks like you can see me. Let me pause. I got myself playing back and looping. So we're going to get started here in just a moment. I want to welcome all of you watching live, and feel free to use the comment stream right down below this video to ask any questions throughout the training today. We're going to go for about 1 hour. And what I want to do is get through some of this core content, and then we can open it up to more of an advanced discussion. So today is going to be a foundational training. So we're going to make sure that you know exactly how the basic things work with 22 Social. I'm going to go through the details of today's training here in just a moment. But just keep in mind, this won't be an advanced training, so we're not going to go into a lot of the crazier stuff unless we have some time at the end. I'll do my best to get through this as quickly as possible. And then if we have time at the end, I'll just do Q&A. So any questions that come up, I'll be here to answer. And I'll probably give you some little cool tricks and tips here and there as we go through some of the training today, as things come up. So I'm going to let a few more people jump on before we get started. And we'll get going here in just a moment. Keep in mind on that comment stream down below, there is an auto refresh. So you'll see that it's checked. It says auto refresh on that comment stream. That refreshes every 90 seconds. So if you need to type something a little bit longer, keep that in mind because it'll refresh unless you uncheck that. So if you have to type a long question, go ahead and just uncheck that auto refresh. And you can manually refresh whenever you need to see the latest comments and questions in the comment stream. So we've also got a winner to announce today. Every week we've got a new prize winner. So I randomly selected that winner just a minute ago. So I see some of the comments coming in. Thank you for posting down below. It's fun to see where you are watching all around the world. So be sure to say hello and put the city or country that you're in so that we can kind of get a sense of the crowd here. We've got Patty in Seattle. We've got Dove in Phoenix. Got some West Coasters there. Then moving east, we got Melissa in Boulder, Colorado. Let's see who else. We got someone here from Washington, San Diego, Scottsdale, New York City. So a lot of West Coasters. Let's see who else is out there. Canada, there we go. Georgia, Florida. Nice. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining. Some of you might have noticed this morning we had one of those things that comes up in the software world. We had a big bug that we had to deal with Facebook, and luckily that got resolved pretty quickly. So we apologize for any inconvenience. Sometimes things are out of our control. And someone at Facebook probably got in a lot of trouble this morning because it wasn't a specific issue with 22 Social. It was all custom app tabs installed on pages were basically messed up and they weren't loading. So we sent them a ticket right away. A lot of other developers around the world also sent Facebook a little heads up on that issue, and they were able to fix it within a couple hours. We did some workarounds in the meantime to make sure that your app links were still working and your visitors weren't going to see an error page. So we did our best to get that up and running as fast as we could. We have some backup plans, obviously, if anything goes wrong. So we did get some of those things going, but eventually Facebook fixed their issue within a couple hours, and everything's back to normal, as you've probably seen. So sometimes those things come up. As with anything, it's not specific to Facebook. It's really anything online, right? Any kind of digital business you're doing, things come up, and you just got to deal with them and move forward. So we appreciate your patience on that and understanding. And just know we're always here to make sure that things are going smooth. Our team is very committed to acting quickly. Okay, we don't wait around because our businesses run on this platform just like yours. So we're in it with you. And okay, I think we're about ready to go. The numbers are climbing. So thank you again for joining me today. We're going to go through a foundational training, and we'll get right into it. A question about favicon. I don't think there's any way to update the favicon. We're going to look into that for mobile, though. I think there might be a way we can add some code for the mobile favicon. It's a good question, Pat, right off the bat here. There's no way to replace the Facebook there on desktop, but there's probably a way to do it on mobile, especially on Android devices. So we're going to look into that. I've had someone else ask that recently. Okay. See the questions coming in. All right, we got we got Bill right here in San Diego down the street, and then Carrie from Australia. So good crowd all around the world. Thanks for joining. Okay, let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm going to share my screen and let you know what we're going to cover today. This will probably be a recap for a lot of you watching who've been around for a while, which is okay because things change. So some of this will be a nice refresher. So today's training, we're going to go through Foundation Part 1. Really, the topic here is to maximize your Facebook page to build a powerful online hub. And essentially, we're going to break down the basic components of how 22 Social fits into your page and how to get it set up so you understand the basic components here. And of course, we're going to talk about Facebook pages and how to maximize them. Hopefully, you understand or have explored some of this on your own. I'll show you a few things that you can take a look at and maybe fix today on your page, but mostly it'll be about 22 Social. Okay, here we go. So as you know, 22 Social does a couple things for you. It makes it simple and convenient for you to build a professional online presence. That's one big thing, and that's what we're going to focus on today in today's training, part 1 of our 3-part foundational series. Secondly, it helps you launch engaging lead capture promotion. So we're going to cover that next week as we go into part 2 of our foundational training. And the third thing that many of you should be paying close attention to is helping you create multiple streams of income. That's probably why you're showing up today, because that is the real big potential here of what you could do, not just with 22 Social and Facebook, but just online in general. And one of the coolest things we have is making that really easy for you to do. We got lots of great training to help you do that. And the features we've been adding are mostly focused on that at this point, because your presence and lead capture promotions are all designed to create more income for you. And ideally do this as automated as possible so you can have much more freedom and enjoy the benefits of your work versus having to struggle to set all this up and manage it. So that's the big idea here. You see some examples below. We're going to go through some of those today. And by the end of this full 3-part training, you're going to know everything you need to know, or at least the basics to get your business off the ground, to start promoting, to start sharing, to start capturing leads and making multiple streams of income. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And it's one step at a time. So that's what we call the foundation. And today, here's what you're going to learn. There are 3 big things I want you to walk away with today. And this is core information that you really need to know. Otherwise, you're going to be frustrated, okay? So we're going to cover some of the big ideas here. How to install 22 Social on your page, but more importantly, how it interacts with your page and what the heck is an app? How does it install? How do you remove it if you want to? What are the complications if you do something wrong? We're going to talk about all that and give you some clarity. I'm not going to spend too much time today. I mean, obviously, we could sit here all day talking about the ins and outs and maybe all these variables that could happen, but I'm going to give you the basic core information you need so you feel confident going forward. And I'll show you where to go get support and help if you need it from us. Secondly, how to build a simple, ungated 22 Social app. So a lot of our advanced trainings talk about the gate system that we have, which allows you to create protected private content and have people register to get access, but that's not a requirement with 22 Social. In fact, we didn't even have the gate feature until a couple of years ago. We've been around for 5 years. And when we first started, it was just a simple builder to create an awesome online presence, showcase your content, and get people to take action and visit some of your other pages. So today we're going to talk about a really basic setup, but it's very important to know how that works and how to build really good looking pages. It's funny to me when I hear people who've been using 22 Social for years, and then they watch a training and they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that you could do that, right? So there's some features that you don't know about or maybe have overlooked or didn't really understand were there. I'm just going to highlight those today so you understand what you have at your fingertips. And third, we're going to go through how to share your mobile-ready 22S Smartlink. Okay, so mobile-ready here is the key. This question it makes me want to pull my hair out every time I hear it. So we're going to talk about the differences between really the unique part of 22 Social and how it works with your fan page, and some of the little bit tricky things you need to know about how the mobile situation works and how to share this so people can find it on mobile. And I'm even going to pull up my phone, and you're going to be able to see some real demos. So check this out. Won't let me do it yet. Here, let me zoom out. Let's see. So you're going to be able to see my phone, right? So I'm going to actually show you what it looks like. Okay, so we're going to have some fun with that, and you're going to be able to see some cool stuff. So I'm going to show you what it all looks like on my phone. All right, so that's pretty much what we're going to cover today. I'm going to do this as quickly as I can, and towards the end, we'll have the prize winner announcement. Okay, so stay tuned, stick around for the end. But right now, let's go ahead and just log right in. I think you might have seen it right there. That's all right. Let's go ahead and get right into today's content. So I've got some cool stuff ready to show you, and I've got a test user here with a brand new Facebook page that I just created. And this is basically the new, I guess, Facebook page, right? So what I literally did is I made a Facebook page, right? So one of the core things you're going to need is a Facebook page. I hope you have one right now. If you don't have one, just go to facebook.com/pages and just learn about pages on your own. I mean, there's so much you can learn. They're very basic and easy. Let me see, fb.com/pages. I think that's it. There we go. And then you can create a page up here. There's this green button. All right, so it's all kind of very simple to do. I don't need to explain this to you today. You can figure this out on your own. If you need help, I would suggest searching Facebook for Business. And you can kind of explore. Facebook has a lot of resources. If you go to right here, facebook.com/business, okay? You're going to pull up a lot of the resources they have. They have a whole section here on pages, getting started, setting up a page, publishing a post, engagement stuff. And then they even go into more advanced stuff like ads and inspiration. So Facebook gives you a lot of stuff, and there's tons of training on this online. Just be resourceful and YouTube it. I don't need to go into the details, but we're going to cover a few important things today. And this is basically what's going to happen after you kind of get ready to go. You get your page set up. You load in your profile picture. This is our test user here, Mike Jackson. And I also wanted to show you that they do have these video cover graphics now, or cover videos, okay? So if you didn't know about it, this is kind of a new thing on Facebook, and it's as simple as uploading a video, okay? So it's not difficult to do. And if you want to find cool stock videos, like I literally just found this one in a few seconds, just go to here's a cool site, videos.pexels.com. videos.pexels.com. And I think the minimum requirement is 20 seconds. So if you wanted to grab one right now and try putting a video cover graphic on your page, these are totally free videos you can grab and download really fast. So I can grab like this airplane, download it, and just upload it right into your page, okay? So that's just how I did that. So it's pretty cool. I wanted to point that out. So there's a lot of little cool things with your page. Of course, we could go all day on that, but it's all there for you to explore on your own time. But what we're gonna look at today is how to get a 22 Social app on your page. So I think most of you know by now that 22 Social installs on your page, just like all these built-in apps that you have here on your Facebook page. So before I install an app, let's talk about this section over here on the left. Just like a website, you have basically like sub pages. Your home page will always be what this home tab here. So if someone randomly clicks on your this page is called the Modern Entrepreneur. Just want to come up with a cool name, right? So if someone clicks on your page or finds it somewhere, shared around, if they click on your link for your page, it's always going to land on the home page. You cannot have that link into a tab on your page, okay? So many years ago, Facebook let you do that, not anymore. So the home page is the same for every fan page, and you can't change that. So even if we install a 22 Social app, you can't have it click into an app. Now, we'll talk about how to send people to your app directly later on, but that's an important thing to know. You can't change that. But you can manipulate this left-hand section a little bit. And so let's talk about what that looks like real fast. On your page, you'll go up to settings in the upper right. The settings gives you some basic controls, a lot of cool stuff here you want to play around with for sure. But what we're going to look at is this edit page section. So if I click edit page, you're going to open up this, this section here, okay? So you're going to see actually that same menu that you had on your page here is going to be down here on the left. You're going to notice home has to stay up there on the top. You can't change that. And I don't think you can do much with it with settings. Yeah, you can't really do anything to it. So that is always going to be at the top, but everything else below, you can see you can drag them around and change the order. So that's essentially what's going to happen when we install a 22 Social app. It's going to be like one of these built-in apps or tabs. They call them apps or tabs, basically. You'll see these are kind of called tabs here. So just getting the lingo figured out, letting you know that this is already a part of your page. And I definitely recommend going here right now if you haven't done this to your page yet, and click on Add a Tab. And you can check out some of the tabs that are available. They have events, really good one. Probably want to add that one. Notes can become a blog for your business. It's really, really cool. I recommend checking that out and adding that to your tab. Services is a great one to have, pretty handy to do. So just pop that in there. And Facebook is even starting to get into the shop space. So you can even have an e-commerce store where you can sell physical products and do some really cool stuff with these shopping features. So some cool things that are built in. They're not going to be the same as 22 Social. We do our best to give you extended options, but what's already built in your page is pretty awesome. So play around with it. Some of them might be for you. It might help you out. I'm going to keep that one off for now because I don't really have any physical products to sell for this business with our fake page here. But if you have an e-commerce store, you could showcase some of your products there. And of course, you can move these around and edit them, edit the order. There's also this template section here. I don't really recommend messing with that too much. I've kind of played around with it myself, and I'll be honest, I don't know really what difference it makes. What I'm pointing to here is this current template. They have these business templates, and basically it's going to manipulate the order and the tabs that they install for you automatically. So if you have a brand new page, you could try it out and do this. Maybe down the road, they're going to add more flexibility to this. But right now, they give you a few different setups, nonprofit. So I'm guessing down the road, they're going to give you extended features with these, like restaurants and cafes, shopping. So I guess, if you haven't done this yet, you could check it out and maybe choose business or services. I do know that if you already have a page with 22 Social apps on it, this will potentially affect the order and things you've already set up. This might be a good idea to try. But again, I don't see a lot with that right now. Maybe down the road, Facebook's going to do more with that. But at this point, that's all you really need to know. One more thing that I want to point out to you that I recommend doing before we install 22 Social is go to the general section. And one thing I really don't like is, and this is just a personal preference, but most people don't do this. In the general settings, so settings, general, go down to the similar page suggestions. And you might notice sometimes when you click like on someone's Facebook page, it'll pop up all of their competitors. So it'll say, oh, you might like these pages too. I don't like that. And I don't want that to happen on my page. Like I want someone to like my page and not have my competitors show up, right? So you can basically go to similar page suggestions and click edit. You can uncheck this box. So basically you won't show up when other people, so in that, what's going to happen is if you don't show other people, then you're not going to show up on those pop-ups either. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I'd rather not show up on those listings anyways than if that requires me to have my competitor show up on my page. So basically just do that. Just if you want to check that box. Some of you have no idea what I'm talking about, so don't worry about it. But if you have seen that, you've liked someone's page and then the little bar pops up with like 5 or 6 competitors, this is how you disable that on your page. Now, a few other things, country restrictions, age restrictions, that can have an impact on the visibility of some of your content. So if you want to use some of our media types, any Facebook widgets might have some restrictions if you have restrictions here, so just keep that in mind. But at that point, that's pretty much it. Have fun with everything else that's in your page. Definitely check that out on your own time and look up some things. There's plenty of training out there on those specific things. Let's get into some of the important 22 Social stuff. So let's go ahead and look at, let's see here, we're on Facebook. So after you've got 22 Social, you're wondering, how do I install 22 Social app? Now, we have a ton of links showing you where to go. You can go to 22s.com/account. If you go to our website, you can just click on login up here in the upper right. That's another way to take you to 22s.com/account. Basically, it's all going to point you back into our Facebook page to one of our apps here. It says account login, and it's going to identify you as long as you're logged in with Facebook, and you're going to see your account information, and it'll open up the My Apps section. Now, this is going to be what you see the first time you log in. There's a few things you're going to look at. The most important thing is this green button to install an app, okay? So that's going to be the first thing you'll probably want to do to get your first app installed. I'll point out a few other things. The username, an optional thing you can do. If you have some kind of name, like you've used a username for all of your businesses and any social media profile you set up, so you know what a username is. The important thing to note here is I don't recommend changing this if you set one, because what this is going to do is create a 22s.com/ let's say your business as the link to your primary app. Then every app after that will be 22s.com/ your business / a number or a custom name for that specific app. So it's going to be, this username will be in all of your links. So one option to keep that generic is just not do a username, and that would make it easier. If you do want to type one in, just keep in mind that if you change this down the road, it will break a lot of the links that you share. So you don't really want to change that. So think about that before you create one, all right? You don't have to create a username. If you don't create a username, it'll just be your ID number. So it'll be 22s.com/ your ID number. And that'll be a little bit more generic at least. So we'll get more into that a little bit later on. But at this point, there's no apps here. If you're a secondary manager on apps, that would show up down here. The navigation here is pretty simple. My apps, help. We've got some resources there to contact us and find our support center. Billing, that'll just show you the billing details of any payments you've sent us. Refer, you can refer 22 Social. So maybe you don't know about our referral program. If you refer 3 people at your same level, so whatever plan you're on, if you refer 3 people on your same plan, your next payment will be free. And as long as as they stay active, if you have 3 active referrals, you will not pay us. So you can earn 20 Social for free. And maybe you're on our monthly plan and you're hoping to maybe have the benefits of 20 Social for free. Just click refer and you can grab your referral link. It'll be nice and simple right here. You could even send that to people. I don't know why that's all janky. Well, I'll have to look into that. But you can grab your link and chat it to your friends or whatnot, or share it out there, and it'll have them go sign up, and you'll get credit for your referrals. So just pointing that out, that's all up there. You don't need to worry about this page. So this is what you see in the 22s.com/account. And the first thing you'll do to get started and install an app is click this green install another app button. So let's go ahead and do that. It'll take us a moment to get logged in here. It's going to want to manage your pages, obviously, so it can connect to your page and install our software on your page. And just click OK. Now it's crunching in the background, connecting with Facebook. Sometimes these Facebook in between pages take a second because it's validating the information here. So hang tight. All right, now it's loaded up here to this wizard. And what you're going to look at is this drop down, select your fan page. If you don't have a fan page, you will need to create one. You can just click this button. We'll send you over to that page I showed you earlier where you can create a page real quick. You'll be able to choose from a drop-down menu. If you only have one page, you only have one option. And this is where you can select the Facebook page you want to install this app on. Keep in mind that with a standard 20 Social plan, you can install 20 Social on up to 3 Facebook pages. If you need more than that, you'll have to upgrade to our premium plan. So here we are, the Modern Entrepreneur. That was the page I showed you earlier. Let's go ahead and click Install App. So let that load here. See it spinning, connecting, success. Might take a moment, just connecting with Facebook in the background. And now check it out. Here we are on that Facebook page. And you've got our default information loaded in here. This is just a very basic starting point with this now outdated graphic, but it's all right. You don't really need this. It's just a starting point. One thing I'll point out, you got over here on the left side, get more info. So that was just added, right? So before, that was not there. So you see what just happened. It added another tab onto your Facebook page, and that is this tab. Now with 20 Social, you can have up to 15 custom apps. So you've got all those Facebook ones, but you can also have up to 15 custom apps installed. So Facebook has their generic default ones. You now have the ability to install these custom apps. So you can have up to 15 on one page. Most of our customers do not need that many. You really don't need that many to do what you need to do to make some money. But just so you know, that's the limitation. And that'll just keep adding them down below. We'll talk about how to organize that and make it easier to manage this here in just a moment. But first, let's take a look at what just happened. You install this app. You've got your admin dashboard up here on the top. This top section here with these orange buttons, this is your admin dashboard. You have your account ID, as you saw before. You'll notice it's unpublished, which means you can click this to see what that means. But it just means if someone were to click on this, get more info, it would say coming soon. So let me actually just grab that and show you what it looks like for someone else. Well, let's see if I can pull that up here. Was Firefox giving me a hard time? Hopefully it loads up. Let's see. Yeah, it's trying to update and stuff. So I might wait on that. Here it goes. Firefox had to update on me. All right, so I'll show you what that looks like for someone else. But just know you've installed this app, but you're really not in any rush. No one's going to go clicking on this and seeing it. You can now edit and create what you need to create. And when you're ready, you'll just publish the app. So I'll show you here what it looks like for someone else. So this is another user here logged in. So just say coming soon, right? It's under construction. Please try again later. So really basic, really simple. Obviously, it's just kind of an under construction page. So that's what they're going to see if they do happen to come over here and click on it. It's unlikely for them to just randomly click on something, but just so you know, that's what it looks like. So you have the ability now to edit and customize. So what you have here are some controls to do that. The orange buttons here are the most important ones for editing the content down below. So this top section is where you are going to edit. The lower section is what they are going to see. Our interface is very simple. That's literally all you need to know is right here, these couple things. When you click on these things, other things are going to happen. So in our next training, we're going to talk about the gate and all the powerful things that you can do with a gate. But today, we're just going to focus on the main content area because a gate is not required. Okay, so we're not going to be talking about that today. You can just create a cool looking page just like this. So let's take a look at what we can create now with this, right? If you're wondering what the heck we're going to do today, you can create awesome pages like this. I wanted to point out Tanya. She's got some really cool stuff going on here. You can see she's been busy with 22 Social, built some multiple apps. Some of these are membership communities, right? So she's got a paid membership here. She's got free trainings, hangouts, live broadcasts, webinars, giveaways, sneak peeks. I mean, it's just cool what you can do. This is an example of what can be created. And this is one here, learn more about us. It's a simple, basically like a web page. You could send someone to this page. She's got a video that can play here. She's got sliding graphics down below. So this is the kind of stuff you can create. An ungated app. It can basically be your homepage for like your website. And you can even send people right to this page to check it out. So let me actually send this to, let's see, I'm going to send it to, I'm logged in here with Joey. Let's try this. I'll just show you how this looks on mobile, right? So you see it there on desktop and the end product on mobile. Let me pull this up real fast. I'm going to show you my mobile screen here. Here we go. So there it is on mobile. I'm scrolling down with my thumb. So you can see all that content loaded in here, just like she has it. But it's optimized, right? So whatever she created here became optimized for mobile. And it looks like that's strange that the video is not loading. What is that? I've never seen that before. That's really strange. All right, well, I'm going to look into that because I've never seen a video not load. Okay, well, that's kind of the idea, unless you change something without me noting. Oh, I moved my phone. That's funny. All right, so that's kind of the idea of what this will look like, right? So it looks a little bit different on mobile. You don't get all the Facebook stuff around it. It is just the app area, right? So on iPads and mobile phones, it's going to be the app content here. You won't have all the Facebook stuff around it on a mobile device. So that's kind of what we're going to create. You see all kinds of things you can create with 22 Social. We're going to get into some of these ideas later, but I'll just show you a few things I had pulled up here. Just to give you a sense of where we're going with this, right? So it's going to start off looking very basic. All right, so let's look at what we can do now. The most important thing you'll probably want to do to get started is, ideally at this point, you kind of know what you're trying to do with this app, but I recommend starting with a template. So we got this little wand button right here, and we've kind of hidden it because we really only want to do this right when you start. So when you first install an app, click this wand button. Let me zoom out, and this will help you create something. So there's really three main things that you can do with 22 Social, as we mentioned earlier. Building your presence, which is basically showcasing your content, or doing some lead generation or sales. So we've got some different templates over here. We're going to talk about the other ones in the next training. But today, let's look at the showcase one, because this is kind of like building your presence. And it's a good way to get started so you can see some cool things and give you some ideas of what you can create. So let's look at, let's say this event countdown, or maybe just a 3 video setup. Now, each template, what's going to happen is you're going to see it replaced all the content. So that's why you only want to do this when you're first getting started. You don't want to choose a template after you've spent 6 hours building something, because it's going to replace everything on the main content and the gate. Now, this one, it didn't edit the gate because it's just a showcase app template, but it'll basically replace everything on your app. It wipes out all your content and fills it in with pre-made content. And so we give you this one here to show you kind of like, hey, a video page. You know, you can put some videos in here and change things up. So I would recommend starting with the template just to get a good feel of where you're going. So that green Save Changes button popped up. And that's going to take a minute, because when you change a template, it takes a little bit to save, because it's actually saving every line of code on the page and wiping out whatever you had. So just keep that in mind. These templates are in this little wand button here, and it's a good place to start when you first install an app. So let's go ahead, and there it is. Changes were saved. Okay. Now we're ready to start customizing the rest of it. What we'll look at here, we kind of did this in order for a reason. So we've got layouts, style, and content. Anytime you want. It will not delete anything. It just kind of, it'll just manipulate content on the page, right? So what we can do here is start with layouts. Layouts can be changed as many times as you want. All it is pre-made layouts. So you have all these cool looking layouts. This is how you see what other people have created. Really cool stuff, right? So we can get these things. Now, there are 2 rows. This can be a little bit confusing at first. Look at the headlines, okay? Featured plus 1 area. Featured plus 2 areas. If you scroll down, you can kind of get a gauge, right? We did our best to visually make this make sense to you. But basically, it's like it's 2 of these big full width content areas down below. So featured plus 2 areas. Featured plus 3. And you can see they're full width content areas. So if I were to do featured plus 8, this is going to give you a whole bunch of content areas down below. So if I scroll down, there's going to be some preloaded stuff loaded in. I don't know. We just filled it in with whatever before. So if you scroll down, you see all that stuff loaded in. Now you have all these content areas. So that's kind of what happens when you change the layout. It gives you variations. Now that's the maximum you can do, is up to 8 content areas. This one here. There are different variations of that. Like if I scroll to the next slide here, you could do like this one, featured plus 8 with 2 columns. If I click on that, it's going to be the same thing, but they're split into 2 columns. And so let's just kind of play around with that now. And let's say that's what you wanted for some reason. And we'll kind of play around with this from here on out, and then we'll change that layout later on. Next thing, style. If you click on style, this is where you can really customize the look and feel. We're always adding more variations here. We got some cool ideas coming your way soon. So some of this interface stuff might look a little bit different, and we're always changing and evolving our platform. But you'll see you got button colors and all these controls and things. And basically, you have a preview here on the right. So as you change things around, you're going to see things change on that right side. But also, it automatically updates down below. So you can see really quickly how this looks. So it's a pretty cool, intuitive builder. And just like that, you can change the look and feel really fast. You saw, I mean, I just clicked a few things. If you're not really sure about this, and especially the first time looking at it, it's going to be a little confusing. Right? So you have this themes tab, and this will change everything all at once. So if you click on that, you can check out some of these cool themes that are just pre-built. It's just pre-customized settings, but they're fully customizable. So when you click on a theme, it's just going to load that in automatically. And you'll see like the button colors change, the fonts change, the backgrounds look really fast. But if I click style again, it's going to load up that full editor, and those settings are all loaded in. And now I can tweak it from there. I want a different font. If I want to see all the fonts, the drop down, depending on your browser, might not show the font, but you can click on View Font Examples here. It's kind of a subtle little link down here, View Font Examples. You can open that up, and it'll show you. It has the name, and then it's the actual style of the font. So you can kind of browse through here and say like, oh, I really like this font or that font, and now you know what the name of it is. So you can go select that. So maybe I'll do this Raham Badadra, whatever. It's kind of cool looking. Try that out. So if I go back in here, header font, I'll go down and select Rahamadadra. I don't even know. Over here in the preview and down here. So you'll see the header sections all get updated with that font. The body font is going to stay whatever it was, so you can change that individually later on. And so all the header fonts got updated. What's also cool is as you're editing this, if I close style, the gate also gets updated. So as we get into the gate later, this also gets automatically updated for you. So really that style is affecting everything. You only have to edit it in one place, and it's going to update everywhere. Let's go ahead and save changes. You can go back and edit that at any time. Really important button that you're going to find yourself clicking on a lot is content. And when you click on it, gray bars pop up, and now you can look at these gray bars, and whatever's below that gray bar is going to be what you can edit. So this gray bar, if you find widgets loading incorrectly, sometimes on previews it won't load because these things are a little fussy sometimes. So what you could actually do, if things aren't loading right, just refresh. Make sure you've saved, and some of these little things will fix themselves. So I like to kind of like save and refresh every now and then as I'm going through. All right, let's go ahead and click content. So now you've got, you'll see that that's showing up there. And you can see little things, these little options. If I click on this, all right, you'll see this little thing shows up. Sometimes initially we had that always show, but if you have 0 likes, then you probably don't want that to show. So we can turn that off. By default, it's off. Header text, you'll be able to click on that, and it just opens up these text boxes where you can edit. You've got some basic text editing options here. I really recommend keeping this as simple as you can. Going in and trying to get all fancy with these font colors and whatnot, it just makes life difficult down the road when you want to change things. Do funny stuff with it. I just don't recommend getting too fancy. Keep things simple if you can. If you get out of control and you just want to go back to the default, click on this little text, remove format right there, that little text X, remove format, and it'll just go back to normal. Now, the one other thing, if you want to change the font size, here's a little trick. If you go up to like some really big headline, right, which I like to do a lot. I like big headlines. To the coolest page ever. If you do change the font to a really big size, I recommend selecting all of it and changing the line height to 1.0. 1.0, boom. That'll just maintain the right spacing. So if I click preview, trim down to fit to 2 lines. And that's pretty much all you need to know about the text editor. There's honestly not much else I do with this. Personally, there are some little tricks that you might have seen us do that are kind of fun now in the text editor, but the text editor is the same on all these sections, so I can cover it here and make it pretty simple. Let me open that up one more time and show you a cool little trick. Here, you can add, obviously there's these little tools that you know about, but there's this little face that's a little bit unique. If I click on this little smiley face, if I scroll down, it might be hidden down here. It'll pull up these little face things and hearts. So maybe I'll put in a little thumbs up. Let me zoom out, sorry. And click preview. So that'll pop in a little thumbs up thing. So just kind of little fun things like that you can do. So all text editors are the same. Every content area has text. So any text box will be the same situation here. So I don't have to cover that everywhere else. If you see a text button, it'll edit the text below that. Let's go down here. This text button will edit the text in this section here. And that's pretty much all you need to know. So the text is pretty straightforward. You can figure that one out. The media is where we start to get really unique. So with 22 Social, we have a unique system with media. And basically what we do is we allow you to host your content anywhere with all the major content hosting platforms. and then just embed it into the app. And the way we let you embed it is by, we call it media stacking. So this section here is a video, but let's say I turn that off. Let's say I this video. I think we're starting to bog down here. All right, let's go ahead and media. Let's go ahead and go no media. So without any media, it's just going to be like that. Same thing with any of these. So we just have like preloaded videos and stuff down here. It's the same situation. Every media button that you open it up for that section is going to be the exact same. So you can add up to 5 media sections. So we saw media 1 was that video. If I remove that, same situation. So each of these is the exact same. Each of these areas can have its own media loaded in, up to 5 sections. Now, each of these media options are really, really cool. Some are very advanced. So if I open this up, let's look at what we have in here. Media 1, you can choose up from any of these. So we have photo, single image, Facebook album, Imager album, okay? If you click on one of these, you're gonna have all the options load up on the right here. You can hover over this little eye. Sometimes you'll get some information. Click on that. It gives you a little more info. You've got some instructions in here. Be sure to read through them as if it's your first time. And it's gonna be pretty self-explanatory. Facebook album. Some of these will have learn more buttons that you can click on and open up, and it'll take you with more information. So you can kind of read through and learn about some of these features. So keep an eye out and just read through this stuff to get this figured out. If you have any questions, click that help button up there at the top. Either go post in the group or contact our team and we can help you get something done. So if it's not behaving the way it's supposed to, just contact us and we'll get it fixed for you pretty quickly, or at least explain to you how it's supposed to work. So each of these are very different and unique. So Imager, it's going to have its own options and features. Let's go to videos. YouTube, Vimeo, video gallery, a very, very cool feature here. But YouTube and Vimeo, pretty basic. You've already seen what that looks like. Simple video loaded in. Facebook video, Wistia, Tastemade. Probably not as very many of you using Tastemade. Don't worry about it. If you're not using these, you don't need to go explore it. 99% of our customers use YouTube or Vimeo. Facebook sometimes. Video gallery is really cool. And a lot of people ask us about this one. If you click on that, just try it out. Click on it, read through the instructions. If you need to learn more about it, just click learn more, okay? The information is all here on how these work. This is how you can create those really cool looking video galleries. You can have unlimited videos. So we get this question a lot. How do I have more than, I have a lot of videos. How do I get this stuff loaded in? A video gallery is going to let you have unlimited videos. Okay, so there's no limit. It's just they have to post it on Vimeo or YouTube. You'll pop in the codes here, have a whole gallery displayed right there. So that's all there. Audio, you've got some cool stuff here. If you have any kind of audio files, you can have an audio gallery. Some of these can be a little bit tricky. You might want to, if you're not sure how to do this, looks like we need to add some links in here. We'll add some more information for you. But if you have an RSS feed, basically just paste it in here and it'll work for you. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. Blog Talk Radio, you can embed some of that. So Stitcher feed, you can grab an embed code from these platforms if you have those going. SoundCloud, you can have playlists. You can basically have unlimited audio tracks here as a playlist. So I'll show you what that looks like in just a sec. But have fun with these, explore these. This is going to make your presence look awesome and give you a lot of cool, showcase your content behind a paid area, right? So these are all the same for paid access or free access, or if you just want to have it available to people who click over here. Social, these are pretty fun too. I'd recommend playing around with these. Messenger widgets, Facebook posts. Kind of depends on what you're doing. We have a custom rating widget. So just kind of try them out, click on them, click that learn more. But let's say we want to do this right now. I'll go ahead and start with this and we'll do Media 2 next. Let's do a Facebook like plugin. This is a common thing that I use just to have another like button there, maybe above a video that they can click to like your page. So it's going to be checkbox their current page. So it'll like this page. And just like that, we can click preview. And it's added in this bar. So you can see when we say stack, it means it's going to be full width, and now we can add another media below it. So if I click on media again, You can now add media down here. We click on an image, choose an image file. I honestly don't know what I have on my computer, but let's grab something. We're about done with the demo today, because as we go forward, you're going to know now the fundamentals of how this works. Grab a random graphic here and open it up. Actually, I'll grab me and Renee. Here we go. And it'll pull in that file, click upload. Oops. I guess it dropped my file there. Let me just do it again. Where'd we go? There we are. Grab your image from your computer, click upload. It's going to upload your image. At this point, you pretty much know how to build a page. You just got to get creative on the media and how you display it. When I click preview, now we've got that loaded in and something below. So you can see how, as you look through all the demos we show you going forward, you know how it's built. You could do the same thing that you see everywhere else. For example, we often show this like Joey Smooth page. I just like to show some of these cool looking things, because literally what I just did is the exact steps you'll go through every time you create an app, whether it's a paid app, a course, a membership area, free giveaway, a download. It's all the same thing. So this podcast app here, you can just see there's these different pieces of media. We have media 1 is the like button, media 2 is a video, and media 3 is a SoundCloud playlist with unlimited audio tracks down here. We've got buttons, lower content areas, widgets, media sliders, more stuff down here. Okay, so you can see how this can get really cool looking really fast. And let me just show you what it looks like on mobile. Send myself a message. And then we'll do a couple more things here. We'll publish this app, and then we'll share it. We'll talk about how the mobile thing works. So let's see. I'm going to pull this up on my phone. I think it wasn't published, so I'm going to publish that real quick. I know what I did. Self-link, which I'll talk about in a moment. It's a good point. It's a good time to talk about that. All right, so I'm sending myself a link so that we can take a look. All right. Something here for you. Once I get it, for some reason, it's being slow. Give me one sec. I think I probably have too many. If you saw my other screen, I have like 30 windows and tabs open, which isn't the best for load time. Yeah, even this Facebook message chat link is not. I will point this out. Okay, important lesson here. Sent myself was the wrong link. So I'll do full demo. It's just going too slow. So I'm going to close that out. You kind of understand what mobile looks like. But the important thing to note is you can't grab this link here at the top. Link, and it's going to show this can't be found, right? The reason it shows that is because Facebook doesn't know what the heck is on that link, and they just say can't be found. So that's an important lesson to know. This link up here doesn't work on mobile devices, but it'll show up right here on this page because that's where we are right now. But on mobile, it doesn't. So you want to moment. I'm literally, everything's freezing right now, so it's going to be difficult to do this demo. I'm trying here. Let's see if we can work. All right, you can see everything's like glitching and going slow, which makes me want to pull my hair out. Okay, so we're making progress. All right, we got media loaded in. You're learning how to build a simple app, and the same thing applies to all these lower sections. So I recommend having some fun with the media. Learn about each of those media types so you know what you have to work with when you're starting to build something. And for most people, just a simple video is enough to get the job done. The last thing I want to talk about in this content section is the buttons. So the really important thing too is buttons. Then we're going to publish it and share the link and customize the tab so you know about how to share. A minute ago. It's all right. So the buttons here. Clicking on buttons, thing you really need to understand. There are a few button action types. So it's similar to media. You can have up to 4 buttons loaded at one time. And the action type is an important thing to know about. So when you click on it, there's a few options. You can have a message page button, which will basically, if they click on it, it's going to open up a full page box and they can send a message to your page. So that's a nice thing if you just want them to contact your page directly. Refer link, we're going to talk about in our next training. Request info and coupon, 2 things that we don't really teach anymore. These are really old features that we haven't really talked about or looked back on in many years. They're available, and you can look up in our support center how those work. I'm not going to teach that because it's really not in any part of our current trainings, but we still have them there because some of our users use those features. But generally, 99% of the time, you're going to use this URL. Action type means is this button is going to go somewhere. Okay, it can go to any link anywhere online. We can go to HTTP. It's got to start with an HTTP. Generally, you want to do an S for a secure, if you have a secure destination. I think there's some limitations on that with Facebook, but generally, let's just do HTTP, www.apple.com, okay? Anywhere online. This could also be a downloadable file. If you get a URL to a file that you've uploaded to Google Drive or box.com, you can put that in here. So I hope you understand how the internet works, right? You can upload files to like a hosting site like box.com or Google Drive. You can host your files. You can link this somewhere online. If you link them to a download, it's going to download the file. So PDF downloads and things like that, all you need is a URL. So be sure to find that URL and put it into this button. So you can have buttons that say download, and you can have a URL button there for a PDF download. There's things you can do with a URL. Pretty much anything you can do online. You can send someone somewhere and it'll work. All right. So understand that the URL action type is the most commonly used, and it's very simple. If you just want to send them to your website or a video online or another app on your page, you can do that. So that's really the most important thing. The display after, you can even delay it by seconds. So if you want the button to show after 60 seconds, put in 60 seconds, and it will delay. So when they load the page, it'll take 60 seconds for that button to show up. All right, so some of you advanced people will know what to do with that. But that's in there. The last is the SRM. So what's cool about this is the social relationships manager, and this is how we use that Facebook login to collect information. So we'll talk about that more, but put it here. Now, in this case, since we're not using a gate, it might be cool to have a gate or an ungated app so they can just show up here and see your content. But if you have some kind of download or file or something you want to give them access to, you can link to it and require a login, a Facebook login in between. So basically what's going to happen, if you turn the SRM on, you're going to collect their Facebook info, and they're going to be added to your SRM. And that is basically like the same thing that happens if they go through a gate to get access to your content, but they're not going through a gate. They're going to this link. If that makes sense to you, then now you know how to use this. But if you're using any kind of gate already, you don't need to have that because you've already collected their information. And if you don't want to collect their information and have that in-between step, which might stop them from getting to this destination, you just put the link there with no SRM. Most of the time, you're just going to want to link them somewhere and say, hey, go here to fill out the form or something. You don't need to go in between. You don't want to have too many obstacles for people to jump through. But if it is something like, hey, if you enjoyed today's training, you could put an SRM button on this, and now you're going to collect information. You're going to be required to register to get to this destination. So that is an option, and just wanted to point that out. But most of the time, we don't really teach that method. So just be safe by not having it on if you don't really understand what we're talking about there. So just click preview. Your button download doesn't make sense, so I can go back in really quickly and edit that and say, check out some cool products. And it'll link over to wherever you send them, right? So in this case, Apple. Now, one thing there that I want to point out, don't test this button right now. You need to save first to lock in that button. So if you wanted to test it right now, it wouldn't work, okay? Because it hasn't been updated. So you need to go ahead and save first. Okay. Maybe I should pause these videos. It's probably why everything's going slow. We can go down here and click on the button, and now it'll. There's some little quirks and things that might frustrate you. Just got to kind of learn this skinny stuff. And now it's going to redirect and send them to that URL. So it's going to go to apple.com. So that's just a button that links externally. Well, internet's going slow for me right now. So you can see it's going to apple.com and it can't even load that page. So I apologize for our slow internet, or maybe I'm just bogging down our browser here. Let's see if we can get back into this and go through a couple last points. Then I'll take questions. I see a lot of questions coming in down here, so I'm going to make sure I answer those as best I can. All right, so you've seen how to edit things and create stuff. The last thing we're going to talk about today is sharing. So we've installed, we've built, and now we're going to share. So before we share, let's get a few things cleaned up, right? So let's make sure we know all the ins and outs of what's happened so far. So I'm going to click on My Apps again. I'm going to pause that guy again. You see now in the My App section, we've got the app in here. Anytime to go back into this. Generally, if you want to go back and edit your apps, I just go to your page and click on the tab. Okay, so if I click on this pencil, it's going to open up your app where you can edit it. So if you had other apps in there, you could just open up your My Apps and open that up. Every time you want to go back and edit your app or view any of this, just open up your Facebook page and click on the tab on the left side. All your editing can only be done on desktop, so it makes sense to just go to your page and click on the tab on the left side. And doing, as you start adding apps, is give each of them a nickname. So what you can do is in the, let's see, the link settings here, your My Apps, the name of this app right now is 101722. Link, you can edit the Smartlink settings. So if I click on link, you can give it a nickname. So let's go ahead and call this one, maybe it was like an About Us page. If I click Save, name this app About. So if let's see if I reload my apps. It says About, right? That's helpful if you start losing track of what's what. So now as you look through, you have a list of apps. You can see that they're named with a nickname. Easier, okay? That's really helpful, especially if you want to delete an app, because you know you're deleting the right app. If you're saying, I don't need this About app anymore, I'm going to delete that one, you're not going to accidentally delete the wrong one. So that just helps you too. That's important there. A couple little things here, kind of do a few things here and there. But let's look at publishing this thing now. So if we're ready to publish and share it, let's click the Publish button up in the upper left. So now it'll be visible to people who show up here. And you can see it use the account ID number. If I had put in a username, it would put the username there. But the account ID number is the default. Let's zoom out. And if I click Share, you can see actually what it looks like when you share your link. It's going to have some generic stuff loaded in. It's down like 100 tabs because this is going way too slow. A million things. It doesn't seem to work too well today. And we have like a $5,000 computer we're doing this on, so it's not, I guess I push it to the limit. All right, let's look at this. So we got like a basic thing loaded in here. You don't want this to be what you share, right? So every time you share a link on Facebook or anything like that, it's going to pull up these, what they call preview details. We call them preview details, whatever you want to call it, share details. The details are the image, the title, and description. So we need to edit that, right? So we're not quite ready to share this thing. Let's close this out. You need to customize what it looks like when people share this thing and open it up on Facebook. They see in their newsfeed. To do that, preview, and you'll see when you hover over it, it says Facebook share details. Just click on that, and you can easily customize the share details. You can just choose an image. It has to be an image because that's all Facebook allows for these types of share links. Same thing, and it's real fast to just pop this stuff in here. Preview what they're going to see when they click. You can say, learn about our business. It can be whatever you want. Be sure to click upload if you do that. Upload that image in there. So it's super simple. Now you're customizing how it looks when you share it all around Facebook. This is also what happens if other people share it. As I kind of demoed earlier, you can share this with people and it will kind of like perpetuate your messaging, right? So if I click send and now, it'll load in. I guess I have to refresh, but it takes a minute sometimes to update with Facebook. The share will probably be updated. Let's take a look. Learn about our business. The image loads in. So you can see just like that, we send it to Facebook to update. Some of these other things might take a little bit longer, but we'll automatically, when you customize a section, we actually like ping Facebook and tell them to update this content. So it's pretty quick. Again, you can kind of refresh. We could try maybe the send. All these things, at least the Facebook things will update that content. So if I reload, it'll maybe fix that send, but it's pretty cool. If we get that loaded in, you're pretty much ready to share this thing. And let's try that again. Send. There we go. So it just takes a second. So some of these little updates might take a moment, but you have the controls right there. It's really easy to do. On the sharing, okay, so we give you this link here. As I mentioned, it would give you the username if you had that. You have these same options here as you saw in the My Apps. For this app itself, you can set up a mobile icon. You can read about that. Not really something that you need to worry about, honestly. You can learn more of the setup and testing. They're very unused feature because it's just not a very intuitive thing to like have someone install your link on their homepage of their mobile phone. So not something we really teach too much. There is cool factor to it, but teach too much. You can read about it on your own. The Smartlink settings, you saw the about, we named it that. There are 2 links here. So these are the important links, right? These are the links that are going to work. Unlike the Facebook link on mobile, Facebook doesn't know what to display. We optimize it for you. So that's why we give you these links. And they're really important that you share and promote. If you're going to run ads or anything, use these links. Both of these links are going to do the same thing. This vanity link will look a little bit different. As you start getting more apps, you're going to see that. And if you have a username, it'll have your username and then / your nickname. So in this case, it would be like your business / about. So you have all these like, links for this one app. But this permanent smart link here will never change. So you can change the nickname, right? About. You can change your username, which would replace your number here. And that would mess up this link. So if you shared it and then you change any of these nicknames or usernames, it would break whatever link that you shared. So the vanity link is like a pretty link that you customize and it looks nice, but if you change things, it'll break that link. So I'd recommend actually mostly using a permanent smart link especially for ads or anything that if you're going to put it on your website or link over to your app. Use this link here. I've found I'm pretty much always using that because I don't really care about the smart link. And usually what I do is I'll buy like a .com or a .tv or something, and I'll forward it to my smart link. So if you had content here, you can be like, my business .tv, and it'll send them over here, and you can have this behave as like your homepage. So you can have your own URL sending people to this app, and it'll send them right into this tab on your page, or it'll send them to your mobile site. See, am I sending a message to myself? I think I am, but that's fine. So I'll open it up and take a look at, we got a test from Mike Jackson. Let's take a look at what happened now. You see, let me go back and actually show you. So you see when you send it to people, it'll pull up that information. So learn about our business, text here. You see the importance of customizing that, because when you share your link, it's going to have whatever you set up there in the preview. When people click on this, it's going to open up that mobile page. So it's going to load up your media. It's going to load up all your text. And it's the mobile version. There's no Facebook stuff around it. So you see, we didn't really customize this stuff down here, and that's okay. But it's pretty sweet. So on iPad, the same thing, same behavior. So that's how it looks when you share it, right? So that's really important that you get the right link and share that to people. And it could be either this one, which is your vanity, or if you open that up, you can pop this up and kind of get more controls over the link that you're sharing. Either one will work just fine, but just know the permanent link is what I recommend. And the QR code, you can even have a QR code. It'll link right into your app. So that'll always work. You can put it on your business card or whatnot, and that's pretty cool. It'll link right here. You can add secondary managers. So if you want someone else to manage this app with you and edit it or have controls, or you have a virtual assistant, just follow the instructions here. You just need to get a code from them. They don't need to have a 22 Social account to edit your app. Just by giving them this link, you're gonna get their code, drop it in here. You're gonna get a number, something like that. If you want a second person, you'll get another number. Third person. You can have as many people managing this app as you want, and they do not need a 20 Social account. So you just got to kind of set that up. Each app is individual. So you have to do that with each app that you install on your page. You can have up to 15 again. You can have custom controls for each one of who can edit and manage that app. And they'll have access to the editing options and the SRM. So they can edit the page, the content, and they'll view the activity. They won't see the billing or whatnot. So they don't need that kind of stuff, your personal account info. Last part of sharing is getting this tab to reflect a little more about what's going on this page. So to do that, you know how to do that already, right? Where do we go? We go to settings on your page. Let's go into settings. And on the left side, we go to edit page. And let's go to the bottom here, get more info. See how it says get more info? We don't want it to say that. So you can pretty much call it whatever you want. Go to settings. And I was kind of hidden down here, edit settings, all right? We clicked on settings and then edit settings right there. Don't worry about any of this other stuff. Don't worry about this URL, as we mentioned. That's the same thing as up here. You don't want to share that one. Don't turn this off. If you turn this off, it'll hide the tab on your page, and then you have to reinstall it, which is not fun. I'll show you kind of what that looks like in a second, just so you know. But let's go ahead and click Edit Settings, and we can change the tab name. So let's call this Learn About Us. Save. Okay. Save. It's like 3 steps. And now in a minute, that'll update. But I can also drag it up if you want way up at the top. And there it goes. It changed. I'm good. I can just go back to page. And you're going to see now that you have that custom app right here that says Learn About Us. Let's click that. Let's do a couple last things to make sure people can find this app. I'm going to grab the link just so I have the permanent smart link. Just better. Either one will work. But let's go to Home. And let's go ahead and pin something on the top of this page. So we want people to find this because this is great, right, for updates, but it's not great for like taking action, learning about your business, and really diving into your offers that you have for them. So your homepage here is much more like a blog homepage, like, okay, latest updates and content and stuff you might like, right? But we want people to find the most important thing. So we can pretty much say, like, to get started, check out, I don't know, it's terrible copy, but you can have something here like an intro, like, hey, thanks for checking out our page. To learn about our products and services, check out this this page here. Or thanks for visiting us on Facebook. Oh my gosh. Your link, and it's going to pop up. Let's see here. It's trying to load. Let's see here. It tried. Keep editing. Don't delete. All right. So there it is. It popped up this stuff, right? Just like we set up and edited before. So it's going to be a nice big clickable link to your app. You could even say you're feeling groovy. And maybe they don't have groovy in there, really? All right. Well, I guess you're not. We're not going to share them. Let me see. Come on now. Oh, I can't even get an emotion to come through. Okay. Feeling. There we go. I don't have groovy. That sucks. Just feeling great. All right. Feeling great. And let's publish this thing. Okay. So you've published that link to your page. And we're going to pin it to the top. Pin to the top. I'd also recommend, if you really want people to go there and you have this page set up with your products and services, add a button, this blue button up here, add that, because that's really visible on mobile. And let's just do learn more. You can choose some of these options. Learn more is the easiest one here. And you can do watch a video or learn more. If you have a video, that would make sense. Learn more will make sense. Let's click on that. Your website link is going to be that 22S link, right? That'll go right to the app. So that is your website link. Add button. Cool. Now let's go ahead and I'm going to send this to our buddy here. And let's check out what it looks like on the page now. I'm just going to open up that Facebook page. And you can see that learn more button right there at the top. Let's just open it in Facebook. All right, so that learn more, this is what it looks like actually as a visitor, right? I'm not the admin of the page. It's kind of tough sometimes when you're the own admin of your own page. It's hard to really see what it looks like. A lot of things are tough to test with Facebook because you have a unique experience because you're logged in versus someone else seeing your content. But basically, this is what it's going to look like. That learn more button is going to link to the page. If they scroll down, there's going to be a pinned post right on the top, and they're going to find your main app. Okay, so this is important to do so that if someone does randomly come to your page, they're going to see this content. Time people aren't just going to randomly come to your page. They're going to see something like this in their newsfeed, either or that a friend shared or posted, or it's your ad. So most of the time, they're going to get to your app by seeing this type of post in their newsfeed. So they're going to click, and it's going to open up your app, right? So they're going directly into your app. They're not going to your page when they click on that link. It's going to open up your app, and they can go through your content, and they can click your buttons, and it's going to behave. Basically, they're clicking on stuff and going through just like a website. So we've created this page here that can become kind of the homepage for your business. And as I showed you earlier, Tanya, it's a good example. Some other cool examples today, but I think I've pretty much got through the core information that you need. Amazingly that we've got that far with the internet issues and loading. But you see now everything we build going forward, and as I show you stuff, this is the core foundation. And knowing this will help you create really cool stuff. And let's just take a look here. I like to demo this guy because this is another cool page that we can have some fun looking through. And I'm going to pull up your questions here as this loads up. If this will drop it. Oh, it's trying here. Okay. Let's see. I wanted to show this as the other guy here. So you can see what it looks like not logged in as the admin. Because this is cool. You can see let me pop up your questions right now. We'll spend a few minutes here on this as this guy tries to load. So this Mr. Awesome page is fun because you can just see like a cool designed page with some of these apps filled out just with example content, right? So let's look here at you can have a cool looking page like this, all created the same way. And you can see that this can kind of be like a home page. Now these videos are so crazy now. Let's look here. Your things, and these can even link, like I said, into other apps on your page. So you can link surf lessons into Learn to Surf, right? Maybe you have a course on your page. These could become links to other tabs inside your page. You can have, I don't know what about's just it's much better than like the basic about stuff, right? You want a much more customized one. Video archive. You can have really cool looking apps styled out. Again, this is an ungated app, so it's like just a video. If you want to have some cool videos that link over to things, you can have something like that. If you guys are in any kind of direct sales, network marketing biz, you could do earn with me, maybe a little intro to your program, your opportunities, right? So this is kind of the idea here. You could have maybe an overview video for your company. This is like your world, your business. You can have multiple different offers here. This could link over to affiliate products or services you offer, and just a button with your affiliate link. So, if you want visitors to check out your stuff, this is one way to do it. You could even have live hangouts like we're doing. You're going to see the thread now that the theme is I see a lot of questions about forwarding, and I think we can get into some of that here in a moment. Everything is this is really bumming. I gotta admit, when technology goes slow, it's just not much you can do, right? I just got to close out like everything else I'm doing here. All right, let's take a look. You can go check out Tanya's page on your own. But yeah, there's definitely, I'm struggling to pull up stuff right now. So it's like, I really want to demo a lot more and blaze through, because I actually, probably a lot of you know, I work really fast and I do things very quickly. So when things go slow, I just pretty much want to shut everything down and come back another day. Try again. Let me see if I can pull up Tanya's page. Yeah, so you can go through some of these. Like some of these are gated content, right? So there's even she's got gated content marketers club. Looks like this is a membership, like $10 a month membership. Check that out. Boom, you can pay for money. So we're gonna get into some of these concepts in the next trainings. But you can see how you can get really creative. She has a page here to take a quiz. Does 22 Social do quizzes? No. But you can have a button that links to a quiz that you host somewhere else. Okay, so you can have these kind of splash landing pages that link out, right? This goes to a URL. It's just a button that links to a URL. So you can have tabs here on the left. You can control how it looks, and then you can link to other things too. So it just gives you a lot of flexibility. Live hangouts. So you can do live training like we do. You can see what she's got here, a cool gate. You can log in to get free access. She's got a course. Check this out, paid course right there. So you get people in your world on your fan page. You can run your whole business potentially right here on a page. These live hangouts are like webinars. It's a way to keep engaging with your audience, bring them back, build your email list, and then keep sharing that you have these paid programs over here that they'd probably want to check out. If they're watching your live training, they'd want to check out your paid offers as well. Micro content webinar, it looks like a different one she offered. So this is just one example. We're going to dive into a lot more examples going forward, and there's always more and more coming up. We had a bunch of people make their first sale last month. I was really pumped in July. We had a lot of people making their first sale through 22 Social. A lot of you brand new customers with us, checking out our training and launching your programs. Really fun to see that. So you can make money, but it all starts with understanding the foundation first. So here you go. Yeah, so good question, Donna. When you forward to .com, if they're going to that 22S Smartlink for that app, it's going to open up that app. So main page or Facebook preview, it's going to go right to the app. So the preview only shows if you post it somewhere. So they won't ever go to the post. If you want to send people directly to the post on your page, see where I had it. That's a whole different story. So it's just going to go to your app. Again, it's going too slow. Let's see. Questions. Forward. Basically, it depends on where you're hosting your domain. I think we got a lot of people in here that can help you out with that. So they probably have some trainings. It looks like like Monica has a training. Check that out. I knew that was going to be there. She has a training on everything. We got some great, Monica's certified with us. We got some awesome users in here. So if you're kind of checking this out, there's a lot of questions that might be coming up. Try to cover most of it today. This one training, you can always reference and go back through this again. You learned a lot of the ins and outs and basics. One last thing I'll demo is like deleting and removing your app. The end here. Let's see again for a shop page. Oh, you can have some fun with that. Post on like some of these like strategy questions. That's what the group is great for. 22 Social Power Users Group. Just go to 22s.com, 22s.com/group, and you can post some ideas and questions in there. So Vanessa, definitely follow up with us on that. Let's see. Yeah, some companies get blocked. I don't think it's because it's secure. I think it's because they had too many reps sharing and spamming with direct sales companies. Let me undo this. Yeah, you guys are gonna go check out. Tanya's gonna get some traffic today. Let's take a look. Any last ones? Yeah, so each app has its own link. Absolutely. So they each have a unique link, so you can send them exactly where you want them to go. Yep, referral link button will only work if the gate's enabled, exactly, and the group will show up if you have a group connected. Great points, Monica. So you have those button types. Just kind of know what you're doing with those, and you'll kind of figure that out as you go. And we'll get more into the referral link stuff in our next training. Absolutely. Upload images now. Yes, Donna, that's a new option. You don't have to use an external site. You can do it right there. Boom, done. So the only thing that changes all your content is the theme or the not the theme, the templates, right? So that's what I pointed out. The only thing that's unique or that you have to kind of think twice about is the gosh, this is just doesn't want to load for me today. I got to figure out why I'm so bogged down. All right, the only thing that is those templates. The templates wipe out the content. You can change the themes, as I mentioned. The other orange buttons, you can mess with all you want. So watch this. 2 more things I'm going to demo right now, and we'll fight another day when we have a little bit faster response from the computer. All right, so 2 things you can change anytime, or all these you can change anytime: layout, style, content. This white one here, we made it hidden, right? Because it does erase everything. If I were to go in and change this to a sweepstakes, it will wipe out everything I've created, right? It'll wipe out the style too. So it just kind of starts it from scratch. So it's really like the first time you start the app, use you can load in a pre-made template. When saved, this will replace all of your content and styles. So we try to make that clear with a big, warning, but I can't tell you how many times people will click this and then lose everything, right? So just look at that big warning there. Layouts, let's look at this. The warning here is if there's unsaved. So if you have a save button up here and you have stuff you've been working on down here that you didn't save, then yeah, if we change the layout, it's gonna lose whatever you didn't save. But if you save it right now, let's take a look. We've got all this stuff down here. Maybe you don't need all that content. You could change the layout at any time. So I could change this. Let's go to something like some of my favorites are down here, slide 3. Let's go to boom. Let's go to this. Maybe we just want 2 things down below. 2 sections down here. I don't have the other ones down there. They weren't deleted. They were actually just hidden. Save changes. Oops. This will now be locked in, but I could bring those back by going to layouts. And again, let's just go ahead and choose something like second row, 2x there. Let's do 2 rows of 2. Those are going to come back, and whatever I had loaded in there before will come back. So they don't get deleted. You're just showing or hiding content with these layouts. Rearrange and show or hide content. So you decide how it's going to be displayed. The styles, you can change at any time. These themes, make it a little plum purple, and just automatically it's going to update. I could go into the style, change that again. Go with a healthy green here. I don't know. But these can all be easily changed. If you make changes and you haven't saved, and I refresh this page, you will lose anything you didn't save. So we try to give you some warnings and whatnot. But if I reload now, it's going to go back to the last point that I saved. Save button's important. And now the last thing I'm going to demo today is deleting this app. So let's see where we were. Yeah, so that was good. That was a good save point. Let's go ahead and delete this bad boy. 2 ways to delete in the My Apps. There's actually 2 steps to deleting this thing completely. You have this trash can button on the right side. You can click on that, to social, and this will delete it from 22 Social's system. So this will completely kill it, right? You're not going to get it back at that point, no matter what. It's going to delete it from 22 Social's database. So that's great if you want to delete this app, right? So it'll do that. There is a second part. To remove it from your Facebook page, you have to go to your settings, right? So we had to remove it from this tab on the left side. And you're in the edit page and you're on Learn About Us, and maybe you accidentally click off and save. And now you're like, holy whoa, holy cow. I just lost that whole thing that I built. What the heck do I do now? Because it's gone, right? It is not on your page. It is uninstalled from your Facebook page. Let's go ahead and go back now. Way back at the beginning, you logged into 22 Social. I'm just going to go to 22s.com/account to reenact logging in. 22s.com/account. There it went. It'll log in here. So way back at the beginning, this is where we went. But look, it's still there because we didn't delete it from 22 Social. So it actually is still on our database. It's just not on your page. So that's the big distinction here. You removed it from your Facebook page, but it's still on our database. Now this can be kind of scary. I wanted you to know how this kind of works with your page. It's stored on our database, but it's also installed on your Facebook page. So if you uninstall it from your Facebook page and you haven't deleted it from our database, it's still sitting there. It's still taking up a spot. This is still one of your 15 apps for this page. It's just not showing. So I could bring it back and reinstall this app on that page. To do that, I can just click this reinstall. It's kind of like grayed out. So if I want to completely kill it, at this point, it's already off of my page. I can just click that trash can and follow the steps. But if I want to bring it back, I'll go in and click reinstall app. When you do that, you're going to get this really beautiful page here that says script to manually reinstall 22 Social application on a fan page. Okay, so you're going to get this. You have to be on your like web browser here. And you just click this link. Click here to install. When you click that, it's going to pull up an option here to choose your Facebook pages. That same page that it was on, click that link with the checkbox, add a page tab. All right, this is very like behind the scenes kind of technical stuff here, but it's nice that you can just do this and reinstall it, and you're going to be good to go. So once it's done, it doesn't give you any confirmation. Just close this out and check this out. If I go back to our page here and reload, down at the bottom, it popped up again. There's our get more info. You will have to kind of customize it again because it was a fresh reinstall, but magically the content is still there. So that's important to know, the in and out there of how it installs, uninstalls. Again, if you want to totally delete it and you actually want to delete it, click this trash can button here. Do that, click delete this app. It'll delete it from our database. And then you can go in and remove it from your, remove the tab from your page as well, because it'll be a dead tab basically. So that's all you need to know about the ins and outs, how it fits with your page. You've seen how all the basic editing options work. And we've gone through some of the basic admin controls here. That's a lot to understand, but that's the foundation, right? So if you want to build all kinds of income streams and launch really awesome promotions, now you have the knowledge to do this, at least the foundation. We're going to get into the next levels on the next training. Monica's got some free training you can definitely check out. Highly recommend it. I think that's all for today. So thanks for hanging out this long. It was a little bit lengthy, partially because it's kind of heavy content that you need to know. Also because load times were a little buggy today. So we're going to go through the next phase, Foundation Part 2, in next week's training. We're going to go into the ins and outs of the lead gate, right? So basically, if you're going to give away content, but you want people to register to get access, then we're going to go through that next week and how the Facebook login works with that process, the ins and outs of the referral link. A lot of fun stuff next week, how you can do your webinars behind a gate. You can do sweepstakes. You can even have groups that you're collecting emails before they get to. A lot of cool stuff next week. So you're going to be able to see all of that. And thank you to those of you who were here live today asking questions. Great questions. Any other questions, free to go join our group. Ask them there. If it's a technical issue, just go ahead and contact our support team. You've got that help tab right there at the top of your app as well, with some resources, links to our support center and the group. So then anything else, I'll have to see you in the group and talk to you later. See you again next week for part 2 of this 3-part foundational training. Thank you so much for being here, and have a great week. Peace out, y'all.